Hello, everyone. Welcome to Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. We're here today with Coach Caren Fern, all the way from Toronto, Canada. And we are so happy to have her in the studio today. She is here from Profits in Daily to show us how to bring in that money every day. Ah. So you can find Coach on Facebook and Instagram, and she's going to be bringing some nuggets for us today. Coach, what do you have for us today?
Today we're talking about now what? Because for the past 3 weeks, we talked about deciding to become a millionaire and becoming a happy millionaire. Let me repeat that part because to me that's important because happiness comes from inside. Nobody can give it to you. You get to decide and then you can or cannot be. So we want to be happy. We don't want to be miserable. If you've witnessed people in money that's miserable, that's a small chunk of people. There's a lot of rich people who is quite happy. Okay? Don't let nothing fool you about that. Because I've met people who think if you have money, you can't be happy anymore. It's a decision that you make. So to become a happy millionaire. And the first week we talk about acceptance, meaning accepting where you are and where you want to grow from there. And then the next week we talk about inviting your future self. And we want to invite her in so that you can have this conversation of where you're going. And then the third week we talk about thanking her, thanking your future self. You go through these phases and you put them in columns, do whatever you want to do with them. But if you start paying attention, you're paying attention to yourself. You might see this on social media. A lot of people ask, what would you tell your future self? If you could do this, would you change this? Well, you get an opportunity to do all of that right there, right now, in this time span. And there's no need to feel sorry for her, complain, and what. No. It happened already. And right now, this is where we're working in and we're moving forward. And when something happens and we have to take a step back, that's all it is. Don't criticize yourself. Don't blame yourself. You're just taking a step back to clarify some things that have gotten cloudy. And I should know where to move and go so that you get to move forward. And let me tell you, if you need a day, go take the day. Go and watch an early movie. I know you can see everything. You can stream everything. But get out and maybe go to the movie where there's a different atmosphere and watch a movie. Or go outside. If it's too cold, we are in the freezer right now. So I'm not doing that. But I will pick a movie and totally let everything fall to the side because maybe I need that day of just getting outside of what I'm thinking. Get to the mall. You don't have to go shop. Promise yourself, I'm going to buy an ice cream and I'm going to ice shop. Just walk around the mall. Just enjoy people. Just watch it, your fellow human being. There's a lot of antics going to make you smile. Don't judge. Just enjoy it and move on. Understand? So that way, you're not feeling stuck wherever you are. Now, if you're at a job and you can't do much and you got to come home, I hope you have relief where you can call and say, hey, I'm going to be a little bit late home because I want to stop and do pop-up, whatever that is. Or if you got to come straight home, try to work out built-in in some way that somebody can take over and you can leave and go do what you need to do. Sometimes all you can do is a bath for the small things. If you can't do the big ones I just talked about, sometimes all you can do is take a bath. Put on that timer, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, just soak. The other 10, you do whatever you want to do. And then you come out and you don't hop right back into the crazy mad, whatever's happening, right? Some tea, something. And gradually get yourself back into there. Because I always want you to find time for yourself to keep maintaining the happiness that you're feeling. That's important. All right. And now that I don't give you that mouthful, let's get into what we're talking about today. We're going to cover 3 things. I like to do them in 3 or 4 topics, right? We're going to cover how are you busy but not doing the hard stuff? You need to stop and question it. So you went through all that stuff and you got everything written out. But are you just getting busy because you had them written out? No. Are you doing the hard stuff? And I'm going to tap into why this part is the holdback for most people. And is your dream and desires in front of you, which means if you got your vision board of possibility, you know what is it you want and you wrote it out, are you seeing it daily? Is it a regular interaction with it. Don't throw it to the side. Don't write all this stuff up. Put it in a book. Put it on your phone, and there's no interaction. Go to Canva. You can use a mood board, whatever you want to use, and you can have that as your wallpaper on your phone, for example. So you can, and in there you can write some quotes. You can write something that you alone understand how it jogs you and make you feel better. You can decide, especially if you're feeling unhappy, how to get back to happiness. I have a whole a thing about happiness that I often share on my page to talk about being happy. Get into one of those things, look it up, look at it, let it help bring you back into the mood. And no matter what's going on. I used to work at this place. I was a dishwasher. And I had a Chinese friend there, and Albert and I would talk all the time about happiness. And he was so unhappy, but you couldn't tell because he's always smiling. And when we get into really good conversation, we're talking about why he was unhappy. And I think I've always been a happy person, so that wasn't a big thing for me. And after we talked, he said, Karen, how do you stay happy? I smiled to be happy, but how do you stay? And we had this conversation. And he said, you are right. And he was just happy because his wife was doing better than him. And he felt he could never catch up. And I said to him, you don't need to catch up. You just need to do you. That's it. And we'll make you happy. And he said, you know what? I always want to open a coffee shop, but I can't do that because I'm known as a cook. I'm a chef. That's what I study. Like, how can I just serve coffee? Like, that doesn't make any sense. I said, but does it make sense to you? And he said, yes, that's what I like. I see myself owning several coffee shops and doing cakes and bakes and whatever. And he says, when you came into this work establishment and you started bringing all the baked goods, I started saying, this is what I want to do. And he said, that's why sometimes I would watch you and just smile because you're doing what I want to do. You're not selling. I wasn't selling at the time, but he said, I want to do that. And I said, then you can do it. And we walked through how he can do it. And when he first coffee shop, he was so nervous. He was still working. He had people work for him because he took his monies, his RSP. You guys got 401 and he invested in it. And I said, go sit with your wife and don't expect it to be a one-day conversation. Talk to her. Give yourself 30 days. And every now and then have a conversation. And then one day say to her, look, I want to really sit down and tell you, which means you're going to have to map it out in advance. And which he did. The hard stuff was telling her. And he realized he was making it hard because she was, I know you weren't happy. That's what she said to him. But I was waiting for you to tell me what you want to do because I didn't want to push you. He said the conversation was so easy. I was putting up the roadblock. And I'm telling you guys this because that's what we do a lot of time. We are taking away our happiness by putting up roadblocks and not doing what we got to do. Without getting for every detail by Albert, but I had left the job. I went off to college. He left a little after me, and he keeps saying, I want to see you one day. I keep saying to myself, I wish I could see Karen. And we walk into each other in the subway like I was going to class. And we walk into me, and he says, it was just screaming, Karen. I'm looking around like, who is this Johnny guy? he's waving. And he's like, oh, he gave me the tightest hug. He said, I hope that I would see you one day because by that time, he had 7 coffee shops.
Oh my goodness.
7. I tell you, and that was the saying, when you decide to do the thing that you always want to do, you amaze yourself. That's why I have this saying, keep amazing yourself daily. I say that all the time in my posts, and I say to myself, Karen, keep amazing yourself daily because those little dribbles of amazement turn into the biggest amazement ever. And he says, I just wanted 3. But his wife was an accountant. She was like, why will you stop at 3? This is what you love to do. You love managing. You're a good boss. So he ended up getting 7 coffee shops, doing well, spending more time with the family, didn't have to work the shifts on the weekend he was working where we worked. All those things changed for him because he got brave. And this is what I mean when I say, are you just busy? Because he's busy at work, but are you doing the hard stuff? And the hard stuff for him was sitting down and writing everything out. The hard stuff having to come to a younger girl than himself and literally say, can you think this makes sense? And we have the conversation. And in the meanwhile, he was building trust with himself. And I felt great that somebody would ask me because I wasn't in this space at the time, that somebody would trust me enough to come with a book that looked like a mess and say, here's what I want to do, but it makes no sense. And we would sit down at lunchtime and work through different scenarios because sometimes it's just an air somebody needs, right? And somebody who believe in them.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Most of the time, it's just being able to talk it through.
Yeah. talk us through, my coaching experience come from so many different spots in my life, just people trusting me. And some people, I had a lady say to me, well, coach, just keep you accountable. I said, no, it's more than that. You develop this relationship with the person you're coaching. You talk about so many things that they might not even come in to talk about, but end up talking about once they're open enough and allowing themselves to grow. And then I'm seeing it from a point of view where I might tell you things that you might have thought about, but afraid to walk through it. And in my experience, I'm able to say, okay, yeah, you want to do all of this, but let's focus on this role to get you moving, to get to the other role, whatever that thing might be, And so my coaching is wide from just different people I've met and helped them move from A to B, or sometimes A all the way to N or M, because of the different things that needs to be done. So don't get yourself too busy and not do the hard stuff. And the hard stuff, back again, is the grunt work. The hard stuff might be delegating. The hard stuff might be hiring people and understanding that you can hire 20 people and all 20 might not work out. This is hard when I say this to somebody, and you might only get nobody. You might get nobody, or you might get one or two. That's okay. What the 20 people have done for you instead of you think was against you is teach you what you don't want, who you don't want to work along with, certain personalities that is a no-go for you. You clash it. That's what those people are doing. They're giving you, everybody comes and you hire them. And if it doesn't work out, you need to write up why it didn't work out. You need to have a conversation so you can hear their point of view. Don't judge. Find out why you weren't connecting, because sometimes you might be surprised. They might have been going through something hard at home. They might have family members that is suffering. And so it's coming out in that way. And because they lose their job because of what's happening. It's not necessarily your business that's causing it. So having that exit interview, it gets you to find out what is going on. Talk to people. I had somebody that I had to let go. Remember when I let him go? He said to me, that's not what I want to do. I said, then why you take your job? He said, because I needed the money. I said, okay, but you still got to do the best of your ability. You can't do it halfway. And he said, yes, Caren, I know that's what I was doing. I had to let him go. But it's because he wasn't happy where he was and he think he needed to do it. And he needed to do something else. And although I didn't like what happened, I was able to sit with him and literally say, go do the thing you want to do. Go do it, even if you're getting less hour or less money, because you're going to be much happier than staying with my company, because you don't want to be here. And I don't want to argue with you to show up on time or do a good job. I don't want to do that. So find out.
Yes. Figure out what makes you smile.
Yes, all the time. Figure it out. And number 2 is your dream and desire in front of you. I talked a little bit about it in a minute ago there. Is it in front of you? Are you making it possible for you to see it? I remember once having a vision board and just had it tucked away. And I made it in my business school. It was part of a project we were doing, but I never really paid attention to it. And I noticed when I opened one and had it regularly, when I come in my office, I could see it, was a difference. I remember when I furnished my living room, when we bought this house, we had some couch we bring from wherever we were before the apartment, and they're fine. And then they broke down. And then my husband wanted to let a couch, and we ended to let a couch. And in the session of me getting here all organized in my office, because it used to be a daycare center I had here at some point, I found the vision board and I put it on my wall, Terry. And no lie, within 7 to 8 months, I got the car I wanted and the furniture. I didn't even realize. I went to the store to buy a sofa. They didn't have what I want, and I saw something else. And while I was there, I ended up picking up a couple of regular chairs. And when the delivery finally brought it, and I fixed up the room and stuff, I came downstairs for something, and the door closed, and I had to sit down on the couch I had down here because I was like, this is the same setup. This is crazy, right? I was like, wow, because I'm interacting with it. So if you got a dream, if you're setting yourself up in business, you want certain things, you got to see it in front of you, right? If you want to start a candle business and you want to and you want to sell some PJs like me, you want to do some stationery, get the thing you want, get the design you're looking for, print it off, do whatever you can, cover over the one you bought, and have it set up in a way that is showcasing where you're building towards. So you got this thing that you're looking at, that constantly you're like, this is where I'm working towards, right? Have it in front of you. Sit sometime, I like to call it my 15 minutes or sometime an hour. I say I want to think an hour, and I'll just sit and think about the things I want, where I want to be, how I want to see me, how I want to show up. This is important. It doesn't die when you did the other work we talked about. You have to be constantly in it, being about it, talking to people about it, enjoying other people's stories, being present for people and only not think about yourself. And somebody's telling you their story, listen, like really listen and give them the attention that is needed because it comes around. You can't only want to get, you're going to have to give to. So pay attention. Pay close attention. And last but not least, what dreams are holding you back? What demons are holding you back?
Oh, okay.
What demons are holding you back? This is important. What have you allowed to hold you and choke you? What it is, sometimes you think you do something so bad that you can't be forgiven and you're holding on to that. If you pray, if you talk to God about it, it is done. But you're still carrying that torch about whatever it is you think you have done. It is done. It is over with. You are the one that's holding on to it. You had a business and it wasn't successful. Sit down and understand that it's not the end of the world because you're still alive. First of all, the world is still going on. And two, what happened with that business? Was it a true business of yours? Did somebody talk you into starting this business? Did you see somebody doing well and you thought you can run this business? Is it of your heart or are you just doing it because? And if it was, where did you fall off? Did the business make a lot of money fast and you think you had to sit back and do nothing and that would continue flowing? Did you hire the right people? Were you diligently looking after the business? Even when, and I said this to a lady the other day, she goes, my manager is leaving. We're in a group. My manager is leaving. And now what am I supposed to do? I don't want to do all that talking to the girls and doing this and that. Well, lady, it's your business. We all say to her, the manager doesn't own your company. And that's why she left, because you put too much on her. Like, she's got her work to do, but as the business owner, you have your work to do. If not, you incorporate the business and have other people. So she's the manager, then you get a general manager, and you got whatever you need to get. If you don't want to do it. So now the manager left, and a lot of people is going to go with her because they don't know you. They have no contact with you. You are a small business owner. She's not that big. And you don't understand how to talk with any of these people. You don't understand the relationship they have. This manager was so good. She's saying, should I give her more money? You didn't even ask her why she's leaving. You're just so mad. You're so vexed. You don't know why she's leaving. Go talk to her. We all say, go talk to her. Go say to her, I am so sorry that you're leaving. Even if she's left a week, I am so sorry. What can we do? Can we just have coffee? Can we just talk about it? It's not so that you can come back, but I just want to know. I want to know what it is that I could have done for you better that I didn't do. So I wouldn't do it to the other manager. She would love to hear that. She would want to know. I know somebody who lost a manager that was just an employee, and the girl said, I'm leaving because when I put in my request for certain things, nobody gets back to me. And I want a place where people get back to me. And she says, and the owner said, it fell through the cracks. They really never got back to her. Her mom was sick and she had to come to work. Her daughter, something happened to her dog, and nobody got back to her with the time off. And she didn't feel she could just leave and not show up for work. So she came in and worked a half a shift, and then she spent the other half of the day at the hospital with her mom. And she said it really hurt her because she's with the company for 3 years and it feels like nobody cared. And she did a good job. People want to know you care. So if that was the case and your business flopped, okay, now how can you show care? How can you do the business differently? Don't let that hold you. Don't let that demon hold on in you and be hanging on your back. Like, clear that up. And if you can't call or talk to the person when they leave, then find some outlet where you get it out. Write it out. Talk to somebody about it. Own up where you were so you don't carry. it on your back.
Absolutely.
This is
Oh,
very, very important. Okay, guys.
oh my goodness. Okay.
And I want to make another point in number one. When I say you're busy and not doing the hard stuff,
Uh-huh.
I used to tell my kids this when they had assignments. In Guyana, when you have an assignment, we would never get 2 weeks to do an assignment ever. You get the weekend. And so when you come Monday, you better be ready. And we had the computer or nothing. We had to go to the library.
Mhm.
And you research on Friday afternoon or Saturday, and you prepare the paper and you rewrite the paper until the paper is good. There's none to type, and you hand it in on Monday. And
Mhm.
if you give yourself too much time to do things, you just wait to the end. The time doesn't really help. Mostly don't help. Not always, but mostly don't help. So if you know that you are setting up, for example, you get your website built, right? You're not building it. And the person asks you for all this content, which is
Yes.
homepage content, the 5 things. Go find it. Give yourself a day or two and say, if the person said, I need it in 7 days, your job is to get it together in 3 and surprise them. Get it together in 3 and send it off to them, even if they're going to take some more time, so that you can get back to them to find out what's next. What else can I do? If they're not used to that, they're going to be surprised. But get it to them in 7 days. If you know you want a website build, let's stay on that tune. But you don't have anything, don't have everything, go get it. I know you can pick up pictures from Pixabay. You can get things from everywhere. But if you want to use your own photos, the smallest kid can take out a good picture for you and have it as a placeholder while you go get the rest. And if you truly want it and you can't afford a photographer, I promise you, get into groups, you state your story. I can't afford a photographer. This is where I live. This is my budget. Can I get 2 or 3 pictures from it? There is newbies. If you don't want to go that route, contact schools who's doing photography. There's newbies. There's people who need practice.
Mm-hmm.
Go do the work
Yes.
because it's your business. That's the grunt work. You might have to call up a bunch of people. Go do it so you can get the thing you want.
Find some interns. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Go get it done. Go find the people who want to do the stuff and get it done. I remember this lady who opened a business and everybody condemned her because she said, I can't afford anybody, so I want to get 2 interns. And I say to her, go get them. Don't come in the group and ask for permission, because that's where you are. The only thing I would advise you is when you get them and your business start to grow, let them know you will do the best you can for them. Don't leave them hanging. That's it. Don't leave them hanging, because most interns is eager and want to come and help you and want to
Yes.
learn. They just don't want to be taken advantage of. So just don't take advantage of them, because what goes around comes around. And these days, faster.
That is so true. You get what you plant.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You plant those seeds for okra or cucumber, you're not gonna get zucchini. You
Exactly.
get cucumber.
Exactly.
So be
Exactly.
careful what you plant, and don't stretch out the time. Don't get busy doing things. I have to remind me, we had family day on Monday, and I had planned to take the day for myself and have a spa day. And my brain, because I love a clean home, I like things a certain way, my mind keep reminding me all that I can do. I could strip down my room. And I'm like, no, my room is fine. But this is what happens, right? I feel like if that's what I could do, because my brain like me be doing things. I said, no. I'm going to take a wonderful bath. I'm going to have a great breakfast. I'm going to do a little mini pedi and mani, and I am going to do a facial, and then I'm going to look in my fabric pile and see what I want to do, if I want to create a line of clothing. I was totally into looking after Caren, because that's what the day was about. Family day now, because everybody's older, get to do whatever they want. And my daughter cook on Sunday. She's like, Mom, I'm gonna handle it. You just be you. Just enjoy you. Don't try to do anybody else. And I'm like, thank you. That's what I planned.
Isn't that nice?
Girl. So I soaked, I did my facial. I had a wonderful lunch in between. I cock up my feet. This is needed, guys. The time is needed for yourself. When you say you're going to do something, go do it. Just like how I'm just talking about business and you must do it for your business, same thing for yourself. If you're going to go get your hair done, if you don't do your own hair, go get your hair done if that was what you set up to do. Go get a pedi if you made plans to do it. Don't let yourself not get there and not do it. Set the time and stick with the time. You're going to feel happy about it when you go to work the next day. You're going to have this smile on your face and nobody knows why, because you're satisfied, you looked after you. You're maintaining your happiness.
All right. Maintaining your happiness. I like that.
Right? And you're looking forward to the money that you set out that you want to receive. And you're doing all the things to get it. This is the part, on Instagram, a woman was saying that you can't just pray for money. And people said, well, of course I could pray for money. I don't want to do anything. No. You got to do the work.
Okay.
I'm not telling you what to work 7, but I'm telling you got to do the work. You can't just say, oh, God, help me do this. He help you get a job, and then you get to the job and you don't do the work. What is this? How are you going to be paid? Same with your business. You asked for something, you wanted it, you prayed about it. Now it's your job to go do the work. And he's going to keep inspiring you. The more you do, the more you're inspired to do, to get you closer to where you want to be. That's why I always say, for my younger self, I thank her consistently. She started me on this journey. She's right there next to me. I hope my future me is really happy with me right now, working towards, this other pillar that I'm on right now. It's on a journey, right?
This is really, really a great segment. I hope people will share this with one another, because this is all about getting our mind together, because when you become that millionaire, you want to be a happy one.
Yes, you don't want to be grumpy and whiny.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and part of that is stop complaining about people who are millionaires.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want to get there one day, you got to stop complaining.
I had a good attitude about it.
Yeah, you have to stop it. I had a friend, and they're millionaires. When I met them, they were millionaires, right? Just quiet millionaire people. And I was her braider. And she says, Karen, I had to drop a few friends because they always complain about people with money. And I said to her, well, they know you got money. But she said, you think so? I said, they know. It doesn't matter how you try. They know. They understand. They don't know how much, but I know you're a millionaire already. And somebody must be finding out and whispering. So she says, I was wondering the other day, a little tiny girl, because when I go anywhere, they expect me to pay for things. I said, they figured out.
Oh.
And I said, it's not nice. She says, yeah. I said, yeah.
Oh, they were trying to take advantage.
Yeah. I said, you can't let them. You can't let them. You can't let them do that to you. It's not right. They're not allowed to, and you can't allow them. Okay. You keep people who want you just for you.
Exactly.
That's it. If you had a penny, you'd still be you. And now because you and your husband work hard to be where you are. I know you've worked hard. I know he's worked hard. He's outside working, but you do all the inside work. You do all the interior work. You keep him balanced. You keep the kid right and ready. You do all the things. And he gets to go out freely and work because you do all the things. And he himself always say that. The time he was in drive, he would say that. He said, I don't have to worry because when I leave here, I know the home front is in control. She's got all the dial-in buttons, he says. So when the queen call and say she needs something, I know she needs something. I'm a dropping what I'm doing to go look after what the queen needs because she's been touching all those buttons. That's why I get to go do what I'm doing. And he was the kind of husband, like, no joke. If we're doing something here and she started feeling hungry because she didn't bring stuff, and she just has to call him, he said, tell me the time and I'll be there. She's like, I know you're at. He said, I don't matter where I'm at. You tell me and I'll drop it off. Just call me half an hour before you're ready to leave so I can come get you.
Now, if I can. We're all looking for that kind of support.
And if you don't have it right now,
hire it.
Thank you. I get it. Thank you, Terry. Thank you. Don't worry about it. I'm just telling you what she has, but don't feel you can't have it differently. Don't feel you can't have it. And Terry just told you, hire it up.
Find a source. Oh my goodness. So, Coach, With that, we just sort of remind everybody that if they're looking to become a part of your community, they can find you at Profits in Daily
Yes,
on
yes,
Facebook.
yes,
It's a great Facebook book
yes.
group. Also, I believe I have a link here. So if you want to book an appointment with
Yep,
Coach, you can use this link to book an appointment,
yep,
a complimentary appointment. Just
yep,
tell her you're a biz chick, and she will do the initial um, conversation free. And well, I like to use the word complimentary because nothing's free. Complimentary. And then you can work from there. We want
exactly.
to. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And when I come back in March, I'm going to bring my YouTube link to start having it thing because I'm right now we're doing behind the scenes to start getting our videos out. So eventually I'll bring that in next month. Actually, I'll bring that in so we can start getting that up and running.
Great.
Mm.
So with that, we want to remind everybody that it's good to make money in your business.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So go to the front of your own line.
Please.
Remember that if you're looking to be a part of Biz Chicks, you can simply text biz to 33777, or you can go to bizchicks.net. We'd love to share with our community what it is and how you serve. With
Mhm.
that, we want to remind you, hey, we're here Monday through Friday at bizchicks.net. Please join us. Support our YouTube page by subscribing.
Yes.
We'd love you to come in, and we appreciate your comments. And we want to give a shout out to everybody watching live and on the replay. Have a great day, everybody. And Coach, we love you. Have
Right back at you.
a good one,
Bye, guys.
everyone.